YouTube. We are now live. This is JVS. We are doing a Talking Dead because there is no AMC Talking Dead tonight, so we're the only ones that are officially the Talking Dead. And I have with me tonight Jor-Els Alexandria, Joe Johnson 030. Give it up for these guys. They're awesome people. Jor-Els, tell us about your channel, man.
Well, I represent a channel called Jor-Els Alexandria. I do a lot of movie-related content, a lot of reaction videos, reviews, and I promote my own art on there as well. For example, I think just in March, just uploaded my first film strictly to YouTube. So, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, Joe, I think, what were you going to say about your channel? Because you're doing something new, right? Holy crap. I think I was just hearing the same exact video.
No, yeah, I was too. I was like, I was just hearing the remote pass, and that's really weird. But anyway.
But yeah, but nah, not to cut you off, Jor-Els, or anything like that, because Jor-Els, you're almost close to 6,000. You know that, right?
Yeah, I think I'm getting close. Getting
I
close.
was like, you gotta have like a 5,500 like celebration. Like, we gotta invite a whole bunch of people and just freaking go crazy. And then when you get to 6,000, you're like, all right, everybody, drinks on me, turn up time. We're gonna look at every episode of Breaking Bad and just do a full review in one day.
Oh my God, yeah, man. It's I think when it gets to 6,000, I think that will have been the quickest subscriber ascension so far, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to talk about yourself, man? You got spotlight, bro.
Representing JVS, which y'all probably already know that. Yeah, I'm an artist slash animator here on YouTube.
That's what's up.
All right. It's short and sweet. I can dig it. Do you say you're an animator? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he is.
Really? Wow.
Talking Dead. I'm gonna let everybody know we're doing like a Talking Dead right now on Facebook.
Okay.
Here, The Walking Dead. Dude, did you know that it was gonna be 90 minutes long?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I only found out right before it came on that it was actually staying on until 9:25 or yeah, at least Central Standard Time zones. But yeah, it was pretty long though.
Yeah, I was surprised, dude. Well, I mean, I guess so we can go ahead and get into it. Me and Joe, we were really hoping for more.
Yeah,
Because it got to the hour mark, and I was like, we kind of recorded like certain glimpses of like different things that were happening. We thought something was gonna happen,
sure.
and that first hour, I was really underwhelmed. I was like, nothing freaking happened. You gave me all this build up, and
Sure.
I was like, I love the look of this. I love how stylized it is, how different it is from The Walking Dead. But I was like,
Sure.
it's nothing gonna happen with them interacting with any zombies other than this first interaction. I was like kind of underwhelmed, and then the
Yeah.
last 30 minutes, like, oh gosh, like it's really going down, and that's kind of how I felt about a lot of this. But what are your thoughts, man? So we can go ahead and get into this.
Well, for those of you who may have saw my reaction, I gave the episode like an 8 out of 10, which is saying a lot for me because I've been skeptical about this pilot episode from the jump. I mean, to me, there's no way getting around it. This show was made purely for double dipping purposes, financially speaking, in my opinion, anyway. It's just my personal opinion. And I was just like, it just seems so irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because what people really care about is The Walking Dead at the end of the day. So I was just like, what's the purpose? But I gotta be honest, man. Like, I'm sort of repeating myself if you've seen my reaction video, but like after the first scene, I was like, I don't know about all this. Like, I don't really care about this daughter and her interracial, I don't really care about these two parents. They're not really that interesting. I was just like, come on, give me something. But where it started to pick up was where Nick and the father, they're in the hospital, and Nick is talking about Nick is saying like, you know what, either I saw some or I'm insane. I really liked how they dealt with that. It started to pick up after that. I was like, all right, and then I think, what did I say in my reaction? I think I said that after there was that half day at school and everybody was looking at the highway sequence on their phones, starting to pick up some more. But where it really hit me is when the black dude came in. Did anyone catch the black dude's name? The character name? Calvin? Okay. God damn name is that? But sorry, Calvin. Sorry for Calvins out there. I apologize. I'll take it back. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Anyway, so Calvin, when you kind of realize that Calvin has like a dark edge to him in the restaurant, the pilot, that's when it got really good.
Yeah, it's funny about Calvin that you bring him up because when they met Calvin, right, like at his house, and he was kind of like cleaning something out of his car, I was like, people just don't do that. People will go to like a location and get their whole car clean. I don't know anybody that vacuums their car out anymore like that. So I was thinking like maybe this dude is kind of like holding like Nick somewhere up. Nick is hiding there because I mean he just seemed, everything about him, it seemed fake to me. You know what I'm saying? And like I was like, he's hiding something. I didn't say talking to Joe about it, but I was like, it's something up with him. And then when he kind of like revealed it, I mean, spoiler alert for everybody that doesn't know, this is an open spoiler like discussion.
Yeah, there's gonna be spoilers, motherfuckers, right?
But then when he and I think Joe called it, when he went and took him out and brought him out to the little location, that Terminator Judgment Day was actually shot at. I was thinking like, man, what is about to go down? Joe's like, he about to cook that food. And sure enough, like he had that gun, I was like, I knew Nick wasn't gonna be for that. Because when Nick, in the beginning of the whole episode, when he ran out, he ran like a mad black man. I ain't never seen somebody run so fast. Like I was like, he's gonna survive one way or another. I was like, look at Gilbert Grape running. Go on, Gilbert. Get him, Johnny. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, yeah, he's going to survive this. But you're right, man. Like when the black guy kind of showed up and the dad, he really was kind of counterbalancing whether or not to trust this kid, like get his wife to push the kid out. And at the same time, he's dealing with morale compass because he seems as though he's a good person. But later on, when stuff starts going to hit the fan, I can only imagine what's going to kind of go down with the decisions he's going to have to make because he's got two freaking families. He has two. And, like, whose family is he really going to choose, you know what I'm saying, like, to protect? So it's a lot of different dynamics that I guess midway of this episode that I started, like, picking up, and I actually started to enjoy it. So you're kind of right. But, Joey, what are your thoughts, man?
I like how they do the characters, man. Like they're different characters, cause the fact that what's his name?
Who, Nick?
Nah, the dad.
Travis.
Yeah. I like the fact that Travis has an ex-wife. And
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I compare him with Rick, and then Rick has one family. You know, when family. Yeah, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's I get that. But I was like, what do you do when you throw in a guy who has obligated two separate families?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. And not only that, but Nick, his drug addiction, I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, this dude's been in the street. Like, literally, I was surprised how gritty they took his character.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude was, like, borderline like a homeless man, like, just strung out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, wow. He's about to get shot, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This guy's out here, dude. He is out here.
Right. Straight into that heroin.
And then, like, when he snapped first on me, nobody believed him. And he didn't believe it.
Yeah.
He was just like, am I going crazy?
Yeah.
It was not, I was like, oh, this is so good. So good.
Yeah, well, a couple things. One, because like YouTubers are really fucking weird. All right, so I just want to say that when I mentioned the interracial dating thing, I am for interracial dating. I just want to make that clear. I was just saying that what I meant to say. See, you gotta be careful, all right? What I meant to say was I didn't care for their story arc. Not for if I could date a Latino and an Asian tomorrow, I would. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I saw a post on the last post for Fear the Walking Dead, and one post said that said something to the effect of this is stupid. When's The Walking Dead coming back on? And it had like 454 likes, and I was like, whoa, all right, that's interesting.
Was it during the episode or was it after the episode already ended?
That's a good point. I'm not sure.
Because
I'm not sure about the try.
Because I'll be honest with you, like the first hour, if the last 30 minutes had not happened, I would have given the review. I gave it a 9. I actually gave it a 9, but I would have decreased that down to at least a 7 or a 6 because I was like, they didn't show me anything, and I was like, if this is what y'all are presenting as y'all's product, like, why am I looking at this? Because it's going to be drawn out to the end of the season, and I'm actually going to start seeing zombies envelop. Sure. I was like, that's not considered the trailer that you showed me. I was like, the trailer shows a lot of grittiness and stuff like that. And then I was like, I like the style of how they shot this. It feels like a movie. Like, the way that they actually shot it, it feels different than The Walking Dead. Even, like, having so many people there. Like, having, like, bodies that are eventually going to be lethal and are going to be killed. Like, it adds different weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rick, when he went to the hospital, he didn't get to see what Shane and Lori had to go through. We're going to have to see everything slowly progressing to the point of, like military probably going to be shooting people in the street. We're going to probably see, like, families turn on each other. And we're going to see people desperate to the point of starvation, like, quite honestly. So, like, for this to be LA, they might even have, like, celebrities, like, kind of get in their way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no telling where they're going to go with it. But if I had to go on the first hour, I would have been like, man, it's not important for me to watch this. But now, how it ended, it really made an impactful difference for me. But how did y'all think about the first hour before we got introduced to what was the case with, what's the black guy's name again? Joe?
Hey, I forgot multiple times.
What's his name?
I think it's Calvin.
Calvin, okay. And before Calvin pulled a double whammy on Johnny Depp. So what did y'all think about the first hour? Because I think that's what people are kind of leaning on.
Sure. Just for the record, that comment I was talking about, it has 499 likes at the current time. It was posted 2 hours ago. But that's a good question, man. I mean, because by that point, that one scene that I really liked, that I was talking about, you know, between the father and the son talking about how maybe he's insane, that definitely started to lift things a little bit. It was really just a weird waiting game for me. I mean, it was nothing terrible. I mean, there's been Walking Dead episodes worse than this pilot, all right? Even pre, hour mark. or the timing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So it was just a waiting game, you know. I didn't have any substantial issues. I mean, I thought all the actors were sufficient. Like no one like stood out or anything.
Yeah.
One thing I will say really quick is I'm not that crazy about the cinematography, to be totally honest. I mean, I do like that it's different from The Walking Dead, but I just wish it didn't feel so. It just looks like the generic TV show, you know?
It's like, how I'll put it. It feels like a regular TV show, but shot like a movie. Like, because like how it's all playing out. But I haven't seen enough of the dark scenes. Like, I mean, the scene where when they actually had their encounter with Jake, like, I was like, this looks really interesting because it's taking place in the broad daylight, you know what I mean, where there are people about, and like how is the situation going to kind of pan out, because they don't know that they could get bit, you know, so the danger is different. Like, they're not hip like everybody else is, and so it feels different, but you know, but at the same time, I don't know, I didn't have too much of a problem like how it looked. I just didn't like how long it took to get to the point that I really wanted it to go. But
Sure.
Joe, what did you think about the visuals for it?
I like it. I like it. I mean, because I'm comparing it to The Walking Dead, right? Honestly, I think it looks better than Walking Dead because I like how they take it to different settings.
Sure.
All across the city. And I mean, to me, it looks like they have a higher budget, or they use a higher budget.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
No, I mean, to clarify, like, I love it for sure. I think it's great. Using LA, I think that was a great choice. I mean, for me, it's like the trailer to Suicide Squad, like the way that the color palette looks in that. I wish that like Fear the Walking Dead had something like that, you know, like I just wish it didn't look so generic. But I love that as sort of like LA is about to just boom go down the toilet.
Dude, they might
be interesting.
bomb all LA. They might have to get out of there. Like, real talk, they're like, look, it's about to split off the United States anyway. Just bomb them, nuke them, and like LA is just gone.
Dude, I hope this becomes like a you know, kind of like a Resident Evil City of Dead type of shit. Like, that would be cool, man. With some fresh dead bodies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. But the thing is, like, there are so many different questions, like, because you don't know at what time this is taken in comparison to The Walking Dead. Like, it could be before Rick went to the hospital and got shot. It could be in between when Rick went and got hospital, because it might be that the stuff that's going on in events on the East Coast have not hit the West Coast yet. And I'm not sure if Kirkman addressed that or not. But the fact that you don't know, it might be a point where these characters might intertwine, which is even more cool. But then where did the Patient Zero start? Like, what if it did start here and this is the beginning of everything?
Sure.
I really don't know. But I think because a lot of the kids have been like talking about like stuff happening, and then that one weird kid that just predicted everything that was going to happen, like that led me to believe that there was something else going on across the states that he was probably looking at in Japan or something like that. I don't know.
You brought up two really awesome points. One is that it just occurred to me this show could maybe try to explore the origin of the disease. That could be really fascinating. I mean, they might just go a stereotypical route and just avoid the origin altogether, but that would be interesting. And two, I'm really curious if they're going to try to do some weird crossover effect, like try to make some of the characters in this time meet up with the characters in the present day time of Walking Dead. Do you think that's going down?
Well, see, this is the thing that hasn't happened in Walking Dead. They haven't been on a plane. They haven't been in any contact. The one person that did have a helicopter, he got killed by the governor. And then I think that every helicopter or plane that's been in existence has like been shot out of the air, except for the first episode of The Walking Dead, where they actually had like somebody that was in the plane. That was right before Rick ran into the first herd. And then, like, the horse got eaten and everything, but there was a plane that was, going out. So, I mean, if they introduced somebody that had the ability of being able to fly, then, yeah, I could see, like, something like that happening. But they have to go across states, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that ever happened, like, it'd be really crazy. And that's interesting you bring that up, is that the problem probably is with people is that they are comparing this to The Walking Dead. They want what they've always had. And because they want what they've always had, anything different, they're already going to prejudge that this is not what I wanted. Like, I'm already in 6 seasons deep, and I already have like a cast that like are just bad-A's. Like they got it all unlocked. Anybody that F's with them, they're gonna get killed. And you got now these fresh faces. They don't know what the heck is going on. But for those that have never seen The Walking Dead, this would be a really great segue to bringing them to this series and be like, okay, look at this season, see if you like it. This is kind of the world, and then kind of slowly bring them through The Walking Dead. Because I know some people that were like, nah, I don't want to do this. It's all zombie, zombie, zombie versus grounded in reality, and this show kind of puts it to that point. So I think there's a lot of people that's going to dislike this show off the gate just because of the fact that this is being so different and even shot differently,
My issue with that is that you like comparing it to the original show. I think it's not only inevitable, but it should be compared to it because I had the same debate with season 2 of True Detective versus season 1. Like, just to get back to Walking Dead really quick, like the fear takes place in the same universe as The Walking Dead. So to me, I think you have to compare it to Walking Dead. Granted, yes, it's different, but for God's sakes, people, this isn't some show called Zombies that has nothing to do with the Kirkman guy, and it comes on Fox. You know what I mean? Like, this is on AMC. This is Fear the Walking Dead. This is from Rob. You know what I mean? Like, you have to compare it to the first one. Like, you have to. And even if you didn't, you know what I mean?
It has to be compared out of the inception of the original one. I think it's all got the same frame, like it's definitely the same frame, but it's different. But as far as the education of the characters and the settings that they're actually in, like they have not experienced a horde. If a horde of zombies literally went at them, they're not gonna survive. Like, let alone, like, they'd be like, oh wow, like let's defend ourselves. One of them get bit, and they go back to their house and everything's cool. They think, and then everybody dies. Like they're just not. They haven't gone through what Rick, Carl, and all the rest of them have gone through, and that's what I mean. That people are having that expectation that they want to see, action. And it's not necessarily going to be like that. It's going to be more so along the lines of, like, helpless action. Like, they're going to be, like, doing everything they can to survive, but they're not going to be what the group that we know are. They're just not. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to want that before the second season even begins.
I do think that as much as I like the premiere at the time. Oh, can you still hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. But now is not the time to spend episode 2 and 5 just sort of slowing down. Like, they really need to keep this pace.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on their execution of the outbreak. If by the 3rd episode, the city that they're in is literally under, like, martial law, like kind of like an I Am Legend kind of situation, is fast, not like World War Z, but like I Am Legend, that kind of how, like, everything is just to a halt, And I think
Sure.
it can get to that point. If they do that, then this show has promise. Like, because anything can go when the government gets involved, and they're like, okay, we need to do something. And I mean, they haven't even showed all the different characters. You know, like we've only seen like just this family, so we haven't been introduced to all the different other characters. How do they play into this? And I guess one other thing is, what if like somebody really does get bit, and they get enough education that like, okay, I got to cut this person's limb off. You know, like it might happen in this series. So I don't know. Like, there's so many different questions with this series, and I think that's why I like it. I really do like it because it can really go anywhere. Robert Kirkman is a genius for making a spinoff on a money side, and at the same exact time, for all us enthusiasts of the show that love the show, that want to see how it all began. Because I have like some friends, they're like, dude, you have me going all the way. I'm 4 seasons in. I don't know what the hell happened. Like, I still don't know who's person zero. Is there a possible cure? I've read all these comic books, you know. I have no idea if it's possible or what happened. And this show could explore that, where the comic books haven't gone there. Because I don't think this is based off the comics, actually. I think it's just a previous thing that he's kind of just shotgun out there. So it has that promise, but I don't know, man.
Can we expel something really quick here, though? A friend of mine was like, well, Fear the Walking Dead, it's just gonna be one season and then it's done and over. Hell, no. Okay. Whether the show is bad, whether it's great, who gives a damn? Okay. The coverage on this thing, there's gonna be a second season. Don't fool yourselves, kids. All right. Am I the only person who feels that way? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would they create this show and be like, you know what? Let's try to wrap it up in one season, guys. All right? Yeah. Like, no. Okay. Thoughts on that?
Oh, dude. Go ahead, Joe. I'll let you go on that one.
I mean, I'm just speculating, but I feel like, you know, they're gonna have to make a second season just based on the first episode.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to know where this goes, because this is a tip of the iceberg, you know. And one thing that I like about Fear the Walking Dead is that they're giving us the breakdown of the system. You know what I'm saying? When it hits the fan, that moment, the build up. And that's one thing Walking Dead didn't give us. It's like yeah, they're survival, but it's like what happens when the outbreak actually hits.
Yeah.
What do you do? And these are just ordinary people. And so it's like on that level, like I feel like I have a good time relating to these characters. Like, oh snap, like yo, you better go here, do this. This is my plan. Lock up your doors. You know what I'm saying? This is just gonna be chaos in the streets, and anything can happen. Anything can happen at this point. So they can take this story anywhere, literally.
For sure. For sure.
That's a good point, because even thinking about like what you just said, like, man, what if, like all of a sudden like you have these characters and they have no resources at all. They have no food. They don't understand how the infection spreads. Or what if they find out something totally different that Rick's group doesn't get? Like, it can make for good storytelling. And one of the things I did like about, like, The Walking Dead is the flashbacks. I love the flashback scene when Shane is shown at the hospital when it's being shot up and he's barely saving Rick. I love, like, seeing, like, Beth and before, like some of the stuff that kind of happened with her character, like all the different flashbacks I've really enjoyed, because I've actually wanted to see what was kind of like going down at that time. And I don't know if I'm like odd at that, but that's one of the things I felt were an asset to The Walking Dead. So for them to be able to go into this is absolutely. And I guess to answer your question, Jor-El, like, why would it not be? That's the question. Like, if they didn't make a second season, I'd be like, I mean, they even like, what was it, the show that I didn't think was going to be good? The first season of Hell on Wheels. I was looking at Hell on Wheels. I was like, man, what the heck is this? That joint is still going on. I still ain't looked at it. But, I mean, like, AMC don't come out with joint if they don't know that they can at least make more than 3 seasons. That's just how they do. But they don't make just bad shows. They don't greenlight shows that are just flake, Like they work on good stuff with good
Right, yeah.
actors. And I mean, to be fair, like the guy that plays Nick, I tell you, like I said, he looks like Johnny Depp. It's like a young Gilbert Grape. He's a good actor. Like this dude looked like he was cracked up for real. Like I was thinking, have you ever seen Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio when he's like banging on his like mom's door and like all cracked up? That's what he is playing. Like he is method into this character.
No, yeah,
And,
I do. Yeah. I thought for some reason, like you remember that movie Love and Basketball?
Oh my God, no.
Like I thought about that, and I thought about like them in the zombie apocalypse for a second. I was like, what's happening in my brain? But anyway.
I'm actually looking to see if I have that movie on DVD somewhere. I probably do. Just can't
Right.
find it. But
could you imagine the stars of Love and Basketball like just suddenly in zombie apocalypse? Anyway.
Dude, I would have cheated. Like, yeah, I kicked you in the shin. This is my bread.
Right. Anyways, shit, that totally just made me blank out. I was gonna bring up a really good point, but I forgot. Oh, I remember now. Do you guys think that they're gonna try to? I wonder if they might try to do like a American horror story style storytelling with Fear the Walking Dead. Like for example, right now season 1's about the perspective of LA, or maybe season 2 is like, this is exaggerative, true, but maybe season 2 is like the perspective of like Africa or something with totally different characters. Do you think they might try to explore that, or do you think that they're going to continue season 2? I mean, granted, this is only the pilot, we're going to have ourselves, but do you think they might sort of try to, whoever we're left with in the finale, we're going to continue their story in season 2 or shift perspectives?
I think that can go either way. That kind of like bringing up True Detective versus American Horror Story. American Horror Story, It works like with brand new characters and like people like it from a different perspective, and at the same time different horror, But it's like, why do people watch the show? You know what I'm saying? Do they watch it for the characters, or do they watch it for the story? You know what I'm saying? And I think I haven't seen True Detective, and you know that, but I know enough to know that Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, they played really great roles in the characters they were given. And then now you've got like Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell and all those great actors playing different roles, and like everybody's kind of described the season 2 as just off as far as their perspective on it. And then I've heard some people say it's really good. And I go back to, like I said, if it's on the characters, if they're there for the characters, if they're there for like related to them being in that situation, then they're gonna probably dislike going to a place in Africa. But if it's like the setting and just the world, which, I mean, technically, this is a whole different setting. This is a whole different world, and people are watching it. But some people are hating it. It really depends. I think that it could work either way, to be quite honest. I would love to see it, take place in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, like, what's going on with them in this era. But where are they going to go with it? It doesn't need to be like a CSI kind of thing, like CSI Miami, CSI New York, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can only go but so far. Not just that, like, when I think about the shows like Arrow, or even though I go Smallville, then Arrow, then Flash, like, Smallville is its own thing, Arrow is its own thing, but then Arrow spawned off a spinoff, which is The Flash. It's really successful. Now they're about to do Legends of Tomorrow. It's probably going to be pretty successful. But that is contingent upon, like, keeping the characters in the world as well. And so, like, even though people are like, wow, this is Flash's universe, like, Arrow is still right there, and they make crossovers all the time. so people don't have problems with that. And so I think it really depends on the fan base, and I think the AMC, they're gonna do like as many polls, and that's the reason why they have Talking Dead. It's not just to give us commentary; they want to see how many people chime in and want to know about these characters. Like when a character dies, like how many people are really affected by this, and because of that, that's how they make their money.
No, yeah, I think I would be interested in either one of those scenarios, kind of like American Horror Story style effect, or if they just continue with the same characters. But I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, like I love Asians. Like, imagine like a Fear the Walking Dead type of like, so, yo, my mind, like a couple episodes, I'd just be like, clearly different perspective. That's something that they could a direction they go in.
Oh yeah, dude, like Tokyo, flip.
Yeah.
Like somebody be like, yo, we getting into the ancient location. I'm getting me some samurai swords, get my gear up. Like I'm just saying, like you have some people, even if they go to like North Korea or something like that. Like imagine like the kind of warfare and stuff that would be going down and how they would contain it, because it'd be totally different than how we would contain it. Like they might actually be able to live and thrive in the situation. And what if there was a group of people that could literally survive the situation? Like that would be nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that. I would be really interested to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only downfall with it changing continents like that is that, like, I don't want it to be on. Oh wait, can you still hear me? I think your screen froze for a second.
I wouldn't mind that at all. But
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go that route, because I feel like they're gonna make us bond to the characters and really see how they,
Yeah, true.
But it would be pretty cool to like see different perspectives and stuff like that. Like you said, like it was in Tokyo. Like over there, viruses and stuff like that. People don't play with viruses. Like that's something they take very seriously because they're so high populated. But
Yeah.
that'd be crazy to see. And because like one thing with this with the first episode, it was like when Nick was like I seen this girl eating somebody, or they even seen the footage online. They didn't believe anybody. They didn't believe it. Right? So when you have a society that's like that sees it and like, okay, we have to take precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how it could be a bad thing to shift perspectives like that in a season, because, like, you don't want it to be like, okay, guys, season 2, Brazil, season 3, it can get kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. I would like to see them experiment with that a little bit, because that would just blow my mind. Like, I feel like Japan would be like, no, like we're taking precautions. Get the mech suits. We're getting ready, bro. We're getting ready. All right.
Have you ever seen the anime High School of the Dead? Well, that
No.
goes for anybody on YouTube. The show is legit. The only problem with the show is that there's a lot of fan service, and I think that might be the reason why it only lasted for one season.
Yeah.
The manga is still going on, from my understanding, but basically the premise is you've got like a group of people in high school. They all have dissension, you know what I'm saying? They all got high school related problems, but it's grounded in kind of like a small reality. And all of a sudden, like somebody is just at the gate, and they let the person in, but the person is dead, and they're walking around, and the first thing that happens, somebody gets bit, and they didn't even go through the gate. They just had their arm out to open it. He bit the thing, and after that point, all hell breaks loose, and the outbreak just happens within the first hour. And like you got a couple characters that are thriving to survive, but they have certain set of skills. And like the geeky is one of those dudes. Like I kid you not, he's a sharpshooter. Like it is hilariously awesome, but it's the way it progresses is done really well. And I mean, seeing how they dealt with it, it kind of was more of an American stance of dealing with it, but it's really entertaining. And I was like, when I looked at this series, I was telling Joe, I was like, man, this feels like High School of the Dead. I was thinking to myself, what if the outbreak happened right when she was kind of like walking through the halls and talking with her assistant principal, and it happened there? If it happened in the school, I feel like people would have had a whole different take on this. Because if a kid gets bit and then they just start panicking and start biting each other, like that's weight, bro. Like that might actually still happen within the next few episodes. I'm not sure, but if it did, like that's a whole different thing, man. Especially going between like preschools and middle schools and high schools, like you don't mess with the kids. Like that's just something you just don't do. But that's gonna eventually happen and pan out in this show.
Yeah.
Well, I asked you this question. Which character do you feel like you're gravitating towards being one of your more favorite characters? Just out of this episode.
I mean, for me, it's easily Nick. Easily. Despite the fact that, like, I guess he's sort of like the Jesse Pinkman of The Walking Dead, I suppose. But, yeah, him for sure. Despite the drug problem. Because for some reason, like the parents are just like, the mom, I just want to put this out there, the mother actually kind of irritated me. Like, look here, woman, if I tell you I seen someone eat somebody, damn it, woman, you better at least consider that I might be telling the truth. Okay, just at least consider it, all right?
I mean, even the husband even said, he was like, something happened. Yeah, she didn't want to believe it.
This fool goes to the spot. He comes back to the wife like, yo, hey, something's going down. She talking about they're just druggies. That's what happens. Like, no, woman. Okay, no. Like, he said he went there himself. Okay, your husband, woman. Okay. What you talking about? Like, damn. All right. Shit, this motherfucker talking about he went there, there was blood everywhere. I think the son is right. She talking about I don't know about all this. What you don't know.
Like, and that's what threw me, because I was like, if he was hallucinating, let's say granted he was hallucinating, right? He found the blood on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Something happened.
Yeah.
And his son was there, so it's like you need to at least look in and find what actually happened. If they didn't believe him,
exactly,
something had to happen.
He should have reported it. I mean, he should have freaking reported it to the police, because I mean, the fact is, Nick didn't have any blood on his teeth. They didn't have any blood on his fingertips. The ninja was on the ground. He just got hit.
Yeah.
And he's having panic attacks.
No, yeah, and I totally stand by the dad going there to investigate, because like I would have done the same shit. Like I'm not about to be up in here like, damn, is my son insane? Like I'm about to go there and actually look around. You know what I mean? Like that's my son. Goddamn, shit, motherfucker, this motherfucker might be crazy. I need to look into this. I need to do some research. You know?
Oh snap! So, Joe, what's your favorite character, man, so far?
It's gotta be Nick, man. It's gotta be Nick. It's gotta be Nick. You know? Cause like when he was in the hospital, bro, and he was like kind of breaking down. He was like, "Am I crazy?" And he pretty much told Travis, he was like, "Bro, I don't know what I seen." He was like, "I might be losing my mind." Whenever you hear somebody say that, bro, I believe it.
Right.
They're crazy. Like, dog, I know this sounds crazy, but this is what I see.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That does sound crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Crazy people don't admit they're crazy.
Yeah.
They don't. That's true. That's true. It's a good point.
And I love that he was he had no problem assessing that. Like I probably would not have liked Nick if he was just sort of oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Like I kind of like that. Like he was like, yo, I'm not sure if it's real. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't really know. Like, cause that's kind of how I would have for real interpreted the situation. So, I don't know. I thought he was interesting. Also, this is totally random, totally pointless. But like, I like that the old chick, the old sister's like dating the black dude. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, ah. I like family. Yeah. It's good. I wonder how they're getting Travis's family. You know, they're gonna try to do that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that whole situation is what family is he really going to protect? I mean, he's gonna have to take in both of them. He's gonna have to take in both families.
Yeah.
With his son and his ex-wife. But like, who does he really love? Because that's what it's all gonna boil down to. Like when the time comes, I'm like, all right, this section of Los Angeles has been cut down. This other section is literally burning. Like, who is he really gonna try to go out of his way to try to protect? And I'm interested to see where that's gonna go because I know it's gonna go there. They wouldn't have him having two families if they weren't gonna add in a morality complex to it.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. There's definitely. I'm calling it right now. There's definitely gonna be some kind of situation where like it's gonna be kind of like the Dark Knight, where like he's gonna have to have like a choose Rachel or choose Harvey situation. I think he's gonna have to face like a similar situation, sadly for him. But I think that's probably going down.
What's your thoughts, Joe, on where it might go as far as this whole situation?
With his family?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm interested to see. I know he talked about before. He was like, he wanted to like kind of like unite both families. But you know, I don't see that.
Oh, dude, you know what I just thought about? I know it's unrelated technically, and I think the person that helped out with that question is Blackwing 2040. He had asked the question. My question is, since the disease spreads, where do the main characters come in? That's not what I'm really gonna bring up, but I was thinking about the disease spreading. We know from The Walking Dead, like after the second season, that it's airborne. That if you die, you're gonna come back to life as a zombie. And the fact is that they have basically hospitals and stuff like that, and I'm sure that people have been dying. But then you got the dude, what's his name? What's the black guy's name again? What's the black guy?
Is it Calvin?
Calvin, he died. You know what I'm saying? He got shot. So is the virus airborne completely now? Because, I mean, he didn't get bit. I mean, the only person he's been around was Nick. And unless Nick is a dude that like has the virus and is immune, which would be freaking amazing, by the way, if his drug habit was part of his immunity to this. But the only person he was around was Nick, right? And so it has to be the airborne. And if he's airborne, that's how he came back to life.
Yeah.
But at the same exact time, like, what if the virus did spread from Nick?
Bruh.
And Nick's just immune? I would freak out, to be quite honest.
Bruh, I have never once thought about what if there was someone in the Walking Dead universe who's, like, immune. I've never thought about that until right now. That would be interesting. Yeah. I almost feel like they can't go that way because now there's a cure. I don't know. Has that ever been explored in the comics? Fuck, I don't even know if I want to know the answer to that. But I am curious.
I'm not going to answer the question, nor can I really truly answer it because it hasn't been synthesized or anything like that. So I don't have a clear answer to give you.
Damn.
I just know that if this one cracked up kid has the cure in his bloodstream, it might be a Last of Us moment might be going down. Like real talk, like
sure.
You looked at you played The Last of Us, right?
I know what you're talking about. I never played it, but I know what it is.
Like if that was the case, and like his character had to eventually come in contact with the main group, that'd just be nuts. It's like, all right, I've heard of this one kid, and he's immune, and I know how to get to him, but he's all the way across the continent, and I don't know how y'all gonna get to him. Because imagine if they get to Washington and they find that news out.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. Like it really would, because then it's not just a matter of them keeping themselves alive. Nick has to stay alive long enough to be able to synthesize something.
Sure.
And I mean, this is all theoretical.
Yeah.
Don't believe what we're saying.
Yeah. This is pure speculation. But well, first off, is the comic books over or are they not over? The Walking Dead.
Comic books are still going.
They're still going. Does anyone know? Someone needs to fact check that. Like, what issue are they on? That's something I would like to know. But I feel like the creator, what's his name, Robert Kirkman, I think. I feel like I almost feel like he's not going to introduce the idea of a cure. Honestly, I could totally be wrong, but I feel like he's not going to do that. I feel like however way he's going to end this universe, I feel like a cure is not going to be involved, but that's just my personal opinion.
I think that he's so freaking morbid, is he would give us a cure and just kill it.
I can see him doing that. I think it would be really eerie if there truly was no cure, though. That's just creepy, you know?
Yeah,
that's like damn. Like how do we stabilize, you know, normal reality when there's legit no cure? That would be interesting.
So in that case, who's really the Walking Dead?
Really, Joe? You want to go and break it down like that?
Yep.
All that philosophical mess.
Because isn't it true that even if you just naturally die, you're still gonna come back, right?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened with Jared, right? It was Calvin.
Oh, Calvin, yeah.
That's what happened to him. Because it's
like,
airborne.
So it's like, how could there even be a cure to that? You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Like, my whole thing is, I want to know who's the mother flipper that started it. Like,
yeah,
who did this? And who were they trying to attack? Because whoever they were trying to attack is still alive.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't have, I feel like maybe it shouldn't even have an origin either. Maybe it should be sort of like a Joker effect where, like, there really is, like, he just is, you know? Like the virus just sort of is. That's the feeling that I'm getting. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and Robert's laughing and saying, "It's like, what are you guys talking about?" But
well, okay, so yeah, I fact checked it. The series is still going on.
Okay, what issue are they on? Because shit, man, they've been running since
Gosh, these are a lot of issues.
Man, they've been running for a long time.
It's past 200. I don't even know. I think it's like 211 right now is what they're on. That's crazy.
For the record, YouTube, in my personal opinion, okay, 28 Days Later, still my favorite horror film of all time. Danny Boyle. And I firmly believe that 28 Days Later did not copy The Walking Dead. That's just ridiculous. First off, 28 Days Later came out in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. So pre-production and all that happened.
Yeah, it was 2002. 2002.
either there was just a weird coincidence with, because in 28 Days Later, the main character, he wakes up naked in a hospital and starts, he starts wandering around a zombie apocalypse. Same thing with Walking Dead. Either it's just a coincidence or copied off the other person, but it wasn't 28 Days Later, okay? That shit came out a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't copy. I don't know who would even think that. But
it's come up. I don't know. I've had the debate a few times with some people. I just haven't thought about it in a long time. But I feel like 28 Days Later had the idea first.
Have you seen this?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it. Is it good? No.
I haven't looked at it yet. I've heard nothing but great things about it, so I picked it up. But I haven't looked at it and reviewed it yet. But I'm excited to, because they said this is one of his best well acted. And I mean, she's already a great actress. I like her since Signs. But it looks really interesting. Looks really interesting.
Yeah, I forgot she was in Signs, bro. Damn.
Yeah, man. One other movie that I thought was really good was, I know it's totally off topic, I'm sorry, but Afflicted. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Look up the trailer for it and watch it. Like, it will freaking mess you up. Like, it will mess you up.
Alright, I'll check it out.
You don't know what the hell is going to be going down. And if any of y'all out there, YouTube, have not looked at Afflicted, I highly recommend it for sure. Okay. Yeah, going back.
One thing, someone on my channel, actually, I'm going to read their comment for Ben.
Okay.
I read it. I almost fell out of my chair. Okay, so this subscriber of mine, he says that I love this pilot, and I am now considering dropping the main show and sticking with this new one because of all the problems I've had with the original. Thoughts on that?
Problems?
Oh.
Activity. Y'all, can y'all see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's weird. Problems. So what was the last part of it? I didn't. You froze before we could hear the last part of it.
Oh.
You said somebody was having problems with the show.
Here, let me go back. They said that they loved the pilot, and I am now considering dropping the main show and sticking with this new one because of all the problems with the original.
I mean, what problems? Only problem that I could see is there was no origin. Like, people don't know how it began, and they kind of get semi-flashbacks. But other than that, like, the progression or the disintegration of a man that was just really there to protect his family to the point that he is right now, like, it's one of the best character-driven shows, period. Like, no, honestly, I don't know what they would have problems with. I'd be curious to ask them, is like, what problems you have with the show? I mean, that's the same thing with Game of Thrones and everything else, though.
Yeah.
No, God, T-Dog, it cut himself on a gosh darn car and bled out.
I was waiting on him to die. I was like, yo, he's not as interesting as the rest of them. Oh shit, he about to die.
Oh yeah. By the way, Jor-Els, don't say anything about any of the characters on the 5th season because he hasn't seen it.
Oh, okay.
No, don't talk about him because he's sitting there trying to spoil himself looking at the season 6 trailer. Yo, you don't understand. There's stuff that goes down that you do not want to know.
Yeah, no. The latest season just it goes 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, he's only looked at the first 2 episodes. That's right.
But anyone who is seriously thinking about dropping the present day show for this one, I'm confused. I mean, listen, the potential of this show is high. I mean, it's really, really high. But at the same time, really? What? I mean, maybe if we were like 5 episodes deep and they still felt that way, I'd be like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
but,
you got the right to your opinion, but
I mean, at least let's at least just make sure it's a good season first. You know, I mean, it could fall apart in the next 3 episodes.
Maybe it's the look. Maybe he likes the look of this one more than he does The Walking Dead. One thing that Joe has said, he felt like they spent more money on the production for this one than they did for the actual show. And I can see where he's coming from with that because of the different locations and stuff where they're shot at, as long with the kind of like style that they have with it. I mean, for me, I like the look and I like the different locations, and I can see they might have spent some good money, you know, creating this and building it the way they kind of want. But I don't know. That might be something to like why he's pulling that way. I'm curious to see. I haven't talked to anybody really about it other than just you, me, and Joe. So I don't know what other people are thinking about it.
Well, Fear the Walking Dead for sure has a big budget. Like, even without knowing, it's a safe bet. But I don't know. I mean, Walking Dead's pretty expensive, man. I mean, they've done some pretty off the wall things in the Walking Dead.
Over time they really have. Yeah.
There's this one episode I can't remember. It wasn't in the new season, but there was one episode where it was like there was a van kind of teetering on the side of a bridge, and it was Daryl and somebody, I can't remember.
It was Daryl and Carol.
But I was like, yo, people do not understand the money that went to that scene. It might not seem like it, but for a television show, that was a huge scene. I mean, that cost some money. All right, so
I can't remember what season was that.
Was that
the 4th? Because it was either before or no. We can't talk about it. That's in the 5th season.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, because they were going somewhere on a mission to find something. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
I think. Well, it was an expensive moment. All right. Shit.
That was though. It really was. I forgot all about that. Even like the first episode. The first episode of the 5th season, which Joe has seen, like the destruction of Terminus. That was bad A. Like, even from the look of it, I was just like, dang. Zombies on fire, exploded everywhere, and people getting cut out, and I don't know, like even the gun cinematography I thought was really good. Like how they kind of had everybody kind of going with these different set pieces, but they definitely have spent money over the years with The Walking Dead. I mean, that's how they have enough money to make a spinoff. But
I mean, I think the spinoff, it probably has like something equivalent to the budget of Walking Dead. I mean, maybe if there's like an episode where like there's an attack helicopter mowing down empty highway full of zombies, and all of a sudden some helicopter turns, and the pilot's like, Jeff, what? No! And then like the helicopter like crashes onto the highway or something. Okay, then they'll be like, you know what? The budget's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It feels pretty normal, you know. It feels pretty equivalent to, you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, man. So you gave it a 8.0. I gave it a 9. Joe gave it a 10.
Yeah.
I guess it's successful if that's the case, because for us to give it pretty decent ratings and we not have anything to go off of, but at the same as that time, that's a high bar to come off of with the first episode of The Walking Dead. The first episode of The Walking Dead, it had me hooked, along with everybody I knew. Everybody I knew that looked at that thing and saw like Rick stuck in a tank and not being able to get out, and you hear somebody on the phone or let them know, like, hey, douchebag, like, you feeling comfy in there? Like, they were going to immediately look at the second episode. This, I don't know if it has that same exact draw to it. It has the potential for that, but I don't know. They don't have to do that because they got like a series that's already done that, and that's what the series is kind of based off of. But at the same time, like, that's what I was doing when I was making my review. I was kind of comparing the first episode, how I felt, in comparison to what I'm kind of getting with this one. And like I said, I mean, just for me, it was just like I really enjoyed what I was getting. I was loving the build up. I enjoyed the characters. I liked the acting. But I was like, I want to see more action, and I got it the last 30 minutes. But I wanted it to kind of be a progressive build throughout the whole entire thing. But what are y'all two thoughts on like why y'all gave it the ratings y'all gave it? I guess that's the questions I have for y'all. I guess we can end out. 12.
For me, I just thought it was for a show that I was super skeptical about. I thought it was a pretty solid pilot. I thought it was way better than, like, say, the pilot of Better Call Saul, which is a prequel show to Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was way better than the premiere for that episode by miles. And yeah, I just thought it was pretty solid. There was nothing about the pilot that I thought was substantially bad. Like, there was never a part where I was like, oh my god, really? Like, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was pretty good. It surprised me a couple times. And I think the potential for it to be greater high based off this one episode. Now, come episode 2, maybe I'll be like, oh my god, guys, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But at the current time, it's a lot of potential.
What about you, Joe?
That's a tough question. I think, honestly, bro, I think it's probably because of the hype. And it sounds bad. I probably give it a 10. I mean, I haven't been that hype.
Wow. A 10, son? Nice.
Reason being, realistically, I probably should have given it a 9 because I had a couple issues with it that I feel like they could have capitalized on it, right? So the one thing I like about it is the suspense of, the whole introducing zombies in a society where they don't have a concept of what a zombie is. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what's going on. But I think that aspect of like the fear of it, I really like that side of it because I feel like in Walking Dead, the original season, I was like, it was pretty dope because you have Rick, and he's exposed to the zombie apocalypse, but it was like when you're thrown into it, and Rick, his character, he already knew how to pretty much take care of himself. I mean, he was a cop, sheriff. He was pretty lethal with that pistol he had. So it wasn't like a fear factor. I wasn't too. I mean, I was concerned, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like he's screwed. I was like, okay, he's pretty bad at it. Like, I think he's got a good handle on what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think he knows what he's doing. But then here I'm like, these guys are idiots. Like, especially the wife. I was like, and that's one of the problems I found with this thing.
Right.
I found it really ditzy. I was like, like for one, Nick, he already said like what happened in the event in church or whatever, right? Then it's like they seen the footage on the web of this guy getting shot.
Right.
He's still getting up and eating the daggone paramedic.
Yeah.
And not only that, if that wasn't enough for him, he was like, Mom, I shot Calvin. And she was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he was like, he's right, he was right here. And then she was like, well, he's not here. Then evidently you didn't shoot him. I was like, if somebody tells me they shot somebody and they break it down, I think I'll believe them.
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not to be.
And then it's like, yeah, they can't find his body, but at
Was
this
it-
point in the game, how many clues do you need?
Yeah, wasn't there like there should have been a blood spot on the ground? I didn't see one. I think there should have been. I didn't see one. But
I think it was on the car. It wasn't on the ground. I don't think. I think it was on the car. But
I think he was dead on the ground outside of the car. Because remember when?
yeah, he was laid over. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He was laid
I feel like there has. Yeah, I think there has to be a blood spot at least.
Yeah, I agree. But this is what I'm gonna do. To play the devil's advocate, Joe, these people have not been exposed to anything like this. Like, the characters we know, they were in the cut for a while. Even, like, the group that Rick came into Broadway. Like, Rick, his first interaction with a zombie was, like, he was freaking out. And he didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ran on a tricycle away. His first instinct wasn't trying to beat something down. Like, he had a hard time even killing the first thing. But these characters, they are skeptical. They are normal people. And all they know is, I mean, they've seen movies like The Evil Dead. They've seen, like, different scenarios where this could happen, like an infection. But, I mean, they were all oblivious to the things that were going on around them. And I said that even in the review. Like, when they were at the hospital with Nick, like, there was things going down in Nick's room, and, like, the guy, like, he was dying. Even Nick was like, man, what the hell's going on? And, like, they went past, like, where's my son? The lady, you could tell in her face, like, something is wrong, you know? But they have no idea of what is happening. And, I mean, to be honest, if you put in the situation, are you really going to believe that there's a zombie attack that's going down? Like, in real life?
It depends.
That's the thing.
It depends.
Look, check this out. They were witnesses on 2 accounts.
Yeah.
A drug addict, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's your kid's is a drug addict.
Yeah.
But still, though. Okay, this is my argument, right? He described what happened.
Yeah.
They didn't believe him. They should have believed on the fact that there was blood on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He didn't do that.
No, man. The part that lost me is when the mom was she was actually at the site this time, and the husband, he's like, yeah, look, there's the blood I was talking about. This whole talking about some, yeah, well, they are violent people. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, that's what came to mind? You're like, damn. Like, how much more?
I actually don't know any drug addicts that are violent necessarily. I think that they were, like, be jacked up and, like, willing to do anything for, you know, but I don't know any. Like, when I think of a drug addict, I don't think of a drug addict going and, like, biting somebody's arm off for some freaking food because they got, like, hacked up on some PCP or something like that. Like, I would think of them, like, you know, harming themselves maybe, but not somebody else. And so for him to kind of describe it verbatim, kind of like you said, that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense. They should have reported that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the first assumption wouldn't be a zombie, but I know something was up.
Well, listen. If I was with the daughter, at school, and they're showing me footage of some fool not only he's behaving like a zombie, they shooting at him, he still ain't going down. I'm gonna be like, that's a zombie, bro.
And what made it so bad, they were there. They didn't see it firsthand, but they were there. I was like, oh snap, I was right there, like driving down that turnpike the other night, right? And all the helicopters, bruh. All right, with all the given evidence, I would have thought at least there's a new drug on the street. Like, I knew I was like, yo, you shouldn't be taking drugs right now, bro. Like,
isn't there a report of somebody, like, biting somebody's face off for real, in Florida? Didn't that actually happen? So, yeah, you're right. It might be a new drug on the street.
No, listen. I'm telling you right now, if there starts being like, around the world, people are behaving like zombies? Question mark. Like, if I start seeing videotapes, I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna sharpen the axe in the backyard, just to be safe. Just to be safe.
You know.
You know.
Shoot. You best believe we're gonna have a hard line in this house, and we're gonna have some weapons everywhere.
Well, he went back when Trevor, what's his name?
Travis?
Travis went back to the church, right? Not only did he see the blood, but he seen this crazy dude up in there.
He's like, "Don't kill me."
Oh.
Yeah. Why didn't he mention that to his wife or anybody?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hold up. Real talk. Ain't no way in hell I would have went back there for a second time. If I was Travis, if I had seen that shit, I would have been calling on God. I would have went to the first nearest church. Would be like, hey, bro. Hey, I might have seen some demon shit. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my.
bro.
No. All honesty, the kid that was in that location, he was terrified. He wasn't just on crack. He wasn't just on drugs. He was like, "Do not kill me," and like he dipped. He dipped out of there.
Bro.
And Travis sitting there still looking. I was like, "Bruh, I hope Travis don't get attacked."
Hey, Travis got more balls than me, man. I would have jumped out the first window if I seen some shit like that. Zombies or no zombies. All right.
First of all, brothers they know not to go up for something like that. We're gonna be on the 6 o'clock news regardless if we make it out alive or not.
I mean,
oh, you know what? You don't even go there, man.
no. Actually, that's a good point. That's actually a good point because when Nick was bringing up to Clarence, like, yeah, so and so chick, like she was eating someone. Clarence knew the chick. I'm like, yo, if you don't believe him, why don't you go hitting up this chick and see where she at real quick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's so unbelievable.
Shoot.
Shit.
Speaking of it, where the heck is that girl? Like,
I don't know.
Like, she out somewhere. Somebody getting eaten on right now.
She probably,
The body was gone. That's another thing about this episode. I was thinking to myself, either one, which I don't believe that this girl would have eaten that whole entire body by herself and then drug it out. I feel like the government or somebody actually knew what was going on and they took the body out because the body wasn't there when they got there. It was just blood on the ground, and I'm like, okay, the girl is gone and the body's gone.
Yeah.
I think somebody that's sane actually took the body out. It'd be interesting if it was the government, but I don't know. I really don't.
like the government's actually straight up trying to run some black ops, trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Because if it's happening, that's going on the auspices. If it's happening overseas, for real, and they're making sure that people don't know, because there's some way that white kid, that fat kid that was at school, that was telling. That's another evidence. That's even more evidence that the woman had, like the kids, telling her. It's all coming full circle. But he had to have gotten this from somewhere. He didn't have this premonition. And the end is nigh. The end is nigh. Like he had to have seen some kind of footage. Yeah. And what if it was across the world? So
no, and that's another thing. I felt one thing. This is a small thing that pissed me off. But at the end of the episode, they ran over Clarence like a good 2 or 3 times, and they're all the 3 of them are standing there looking at him, and he's getting up again, and she's like, what's happening here? Like, clearly a zombie apocalypse is happening, okay? That's clearly what's happening, okay? Even if, let's just say, God forbid, the word zombie hasn't been invented in your world, okay? There is an undead motherfucker getting up right before you. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Well, no, even that whole scene, they were stupid. Like, he already, hit him with the car. They still sitting right there. If I was there, and he just ran that nigga over, and this motherfucker got up, I would have been out. I would have been like, ah! I would have been gone. There would have been no way. I would have been still there. I would have told everybody, my nigga. Everybody would have known, like, look, this is a hot spot. I don't know what this black man has been exposed to, but this brother is on some rabies joint.
Right. I would have been like, I would have pushed my mom aside and been like, Mom, we gotta tell the authorities. Hold up, Mom. Hold up. hold up.
But I mean,
Snapchat that shit to 911, bro. Like,
I mean, I guess that's the thing. Like, we're the viewer looking at it, and they're the people in the situation, and it's like from their whole situation, they just killed somebody. You know, like the person's dead. Their son, who's a drug dealer, killed somebody, and he just happened to come back to life. And then they ran him over a couple times.
No, bro. Once you come back to life, I don't care what alternate reality you're in. It's gonna be weird in any alternate reality. All right, you ain't just gonna die and come back, and that's just gonna be normal. All right, shit.
Shoot, but anyway, so. I guess, well, so we can go ahead and get some sleep, because it's like 1 o'clock where we are. I know it's 12 where you are. I guess we'll end off here, and maybe we'll have another Talking Dead next episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool. How long have we, we've been going for, like an hour now or something?
I think it's about a good hour, because we started a little late. So, yeah, it's about a good hour. So we can keep it like to just an hour open discussion, or maybe let most an hour and 30 minutes. Because I think the next episode is going to be an hour. I don't think it's going to be 90 minutes long.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a traditional, 8 to 9 or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think this is really good. Like, especially because the Talking Dead is not here. Like, I don't think there's too many people that's going to be necessarily talking about this until it starts getting good. Then everybody's going to be on that bandwagon like, oh, the Fear of Walking Dead is coming on. Yeah, let's talk about it. So I think it's really cool us going over all this. But yeah, you got a review out. So everybody go check out Jor-Els Alexandria's review for Fear the Walking Dead. I think, did you do a spoiler review and a non-spoiler, or just a straight review for it?
I just did just straight review for it.
Okay.
Because I keep those pretty short. I usually keep them between like maybe 1-3 minutes. They're usually pretty short. So.
Okay. Yeah, I left in the description bar below, y'all. Go to his channel and subscribe and check out his for Fear the Walking Dead. And I did a review. Me and Joe did one. We're gonna be posting it up tonight. It should eventually get to y'all sometime in the morning, so y'all should be able to check it out. But thanks everybody for watching. Like, it's been really cool. Jor-Els, you got anything else, man?
I definitely need to do a shout-out video. I saw the video that you have posted, the shout-out. I thought that was really cool. I want to do a similar thing, because I've never done a shout-out video before in general, so definitely want to do that. But just remember, people, as much as I like this premiere, I mean, it could still all go down south, in the next couple episodes. So keep an open mind. I mean, I wouldn't say that like, oh my God, immediate masterpiece, but it has potential for sure.
Yeah.
The potential is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. So.
Yeah, I feel the same. You got any closing thoughts, Joe? All right. Well, everybody out there, YouTube land, I can't believe we still got consistently 5 viewers at 1 o'clock at night. What? Y'all are amazing. Thanks everybody for watching. Like, I'm really surprised by how many people actually watch. I thought that we would just record this, people watch it tomorrow, but y'all are amazing. Thanks everybody for watching. I think at Blackwing 2040 and Kennedy. Thanks for your comments and your recommendations. Y'all are amazing. So we're out, everybody.
Peace.
Have a good night. Peace. Bow, bow, bow.